Hello everyone. In this lecture, we will discuss the 80386 family tree and features. So, you can see in this slide, we divided the family tree in terms of chip, introduction, data bus, address bus and memory. So, chip, what is chip? Chip is nothing but the integrated circuit, then contain the transistor, gates like AND gate, OR gate, NOR gate like. So, first chip is 4004 that was introduced in 1971 and has 4-bit data bus, 8-bit address bus and 256 bytes of memory. Like that, we will discuss every chip like 8008, 8080, 8086, 80186, 80286, 80386. So basically we have to focus on 80386. 80386 processor we divided into two parts, DX part and SX part. In DX part you can see it has a 32-bit data bus and 132-pin diagram and 32-bit address bus and 4 GB of memory. So what is 32-pin? 132-pin means whenever you discuss the 80386 pin diagram, and this thing we have discussed in last lecture when we are discussing 80387 coprocessor pin diagram. So it has the same functionality like 80386 pin diagram. So it is a 132 pin. It contains the 132 pin like reset pin and processor request extension pin and power supply pin, VCC and ground, then interrupt pin, NMI, INTR and reset pin like that. Same with the SX part. 80386 SX contain a 16-bit data bus and 100 pin of pin diagram. It contains the 100 pin into the pin diagram and it has 24-bit address bus and 16 megabyte of memory. So you can see the chip of 8008. So how much data bus it contains means 8-bit data bus or 8-bit address bus and 256 byte of memory. 8080 processor contain 8-bit data bus, 16-bit address bus and 64 KB of memory. Same thing with the 8086 and 80186. So this is the description of data bus, address bus and memory. Address bus and data bus is nothing but the carried bus. Carries bus means they contain and they carry the information between the devices into the computer. So bus is nothing but the bunch of wires that carry the information. And if we are talking about the data bus, if we are talking about the address bus and if we are talking about the control bus, so these three bus we will discuss into the processor. Data bus contain the data between the devices or between the component. Address bus contain the component address and control bus contain the signal. So this is a description of data bus, address bus and control signal bus. And when you combine these three buses, so we call it as a system bus. Then memory. So 80386 basically contain 4 GB of memory and SX part contain the 16 MB of memory. So you can see the description of difference between 80386 SX part and DX part. In DX part, it contains the 32-bit address bus and 32-bit data bus, and SX part contains the 24-bit address bus and 16-bit data bus. 80386 DX packaged in 132-pin PGA and SX part contain 100-pin flat package. 80386 DX memory is 4 GB of memory and SX part have a 16 MB of memory. So this diagram basically contains the information about the pin diagram of 80386 SX or DX. So you can see the difference between 80386 pin diagram, SX part or DX part. Introduction of 80386. Introduction, you can see 80386 is an advanced 32-bit microprocessor optimized for multitasking operating system and designed for application needing very high performance. Means 80386 has a 32-bit data bus, 32-bit address bus. So it can contain the information at a time 32-bit, means it can perform the operation on a 32-bit instruction. And it has a multitasking feature. What is the meaning of multitasking? Means at a time you can perform many tasks. So this is the feature of multitasking and provide the protection also. So 80386 has a different feature than the 8086 part, and these features are multitasking, protection features, etc. And it has a 32-bit address bus and data bus and 4 GB of memory. The 32-bit register and data bus support 32-bit addresses and data types. Means you can perform the operation on a 32-bit type instruction at a time. That doesn't mean you cannot perform the operation on a 8-bit or 16-bit or 24-bit. 32-bit means maximum instruction that you can execute is a 32-bit type instruction. But you can execute 8-bit instruction also, 16-bit instruction also, 24-bit instruction also, and 32-bit instruction also. So this is the feature of 80386. Means at a time you can execute a 32-bit type instruction because it supports a 32-bit data bus and 32-bit address bus. The processor can address up to 4 GB of physical memory and 64 TB of virtual memory. So your processor has a 4 GB of physical memory and total 64 TB your virtual memory. The on-chip memory management facility include address translation register, advanced multitasking hardware, a protection mechanism, and a paged virtual memory. Means what features your 80386 has? Your 80386 has an on-chip memory management facility that include address translation registers, advanced multitasking hardware, and protection. Address translation means how you convert your logical address into physical address. So in that case, you perform two steps for converting logical address into physical address. In first step, you convert your logical address into linear address, or in second step, you convert your linear address into physical address. So for performing logical to linear conversion, you use segment translation mechanism. And for converting linear address into physical address, you use page translation mechanism. So we will discuss this mechanism later in this chapter. Segment translation mechanism and page translation mechanism, how you convert logical address into linear address and linear address into physical address. But here, this is the facility. This is the feature of 80386 that contain. The next feature is a multitasking feature. Means at a time, you can perform many instructions. You can execute many instructions at a time. So this is the feature of multitasking. And if you are executing a instruction at a time, many instructions at a time, so you have to provide the protection to the processes so that they cannot interfere between the execution. Means one process cannot alter the data, one process cannot corrupt the data to the other process. So that's why you have to perform the protection also between the processes or for the processes. Then special debugging registers provide data and code breakpoints even in ROM based software. So here 80386 has a special type of registers like control register, debug registers, and test registers. So it also provide the protection by using these things. They contain the different type of information and breakpoint related information. Now your next feature is a processing mode. So 80386 has three processing mode: protected mode, real addressing mode, and virtual mode. So what is protected mode? Protected mode is the natural 32-bit environment of the 80386 processor. In this mode, all instructions and features are available. So first we have to discuss real addressing mode, then you can easily understand the things of protected mode. Means what we are wanted to say in protected mode. And real address mode is the mode of the processor immediate after reset. In real mode, the 80386 appear to programmers as a fast 8086 with some new instructions. Most application of 80386 will use real mode. Means whenever you initialize your 80386 processor, your processor first come into real addressing mode, then come into the protected mode. So if your processor is in a real addressing mode, it will not utilize all the features of 80386 like multitasking, protection, paging, etc. But whenever your processor come into protected mode, at that time it utilize all the features of 80386. So whenever processor come into the operating system mode, so this is your protected mode feature. In this mode, you can utilize multitasking features, paging mechanism features, protection features, etc. So this is the difference between real addressing mode and protected mode. In real addressing mode, you cannot utilize all the feature. That's why your 80386 real mode is equal to 8086 mode. Means whenever some type of application basically you can run only in real addressing mode, this type of application you cannot run into the protected mode. So due to this reason, we have to introduce a new mode, and it is your virtual 8086 mode. Means whenever processor come into protected mode, in that case it cannot execute the real addressing mode application. So that's why we introduce a virtual mode. Whenever a processor identify this type of application, it will switch into the virtual mode within a protected mode, then execute the application program and again come into the protected mode. So that's why a processor repetitively and rapidly switch between protected mode and virtual mode. So this is a feature of virtual addressing mode. So 80386 have three processing mode: protected mode, real addressing mode, and virtual addressing mode. So in a virtual addressing mode, basically you process the application which is related to the real addressing mode, because you cannot execute this type of application into the protected mode. Now you can see the internal architecture of 80386. Into the internal architecture of 80386, you divided this architecture into three parts: central processing unit, memory management unit, and bus interface unit. Then again, central processing unit you divided into two parts: instruction unit and execution unit. Then memory management unit you divided into two parts: segmentation and paging, and bus interface unit. So in this diagram you can see this part. Basically this part contain the information about the instruction unit. This part contains the information about the execution unit. And this part contains the information about the memory management unit, that divided you into two parts: segmentation part and paging part. And this is your bus interface part. So like that you divided your architecture into three sections: central processing unit, memory management unit, and bus interface unit. So this is your instruction unit part, this is your execution unit part, and this is your memory management unit part that you divided into two parts: segmentation and paging, and this is your bus interface unit part. Then instruction unit part. So you can see in the diagram, instruction unit part again you divided into two fields: instruction prefetch and instruction predecode. Basically this thing is like a pipelining. In a pipelining system, you fetch the instruction, then you decode the instruction, then you perform the execution of that instruction or of that data. Then after completing the execution, the instruction come into the exit mode. The same thing happened here. In the instruction unit, first you prefetch the instruction, then you decode the instruction, then you send this instruction to the execution unit for execution. Then in an instruction prefetch queue, basically three instruction in advance you can fetch. Then decoding means here in a decoding part you specify what type of operation you wanted to perform on the data. So basically decoding part contain the information about the execution, means what type of operation you have to perform on that data. Then after decoding this thing, you send this information to the execution unit, and execution unit contain the barrel shifter, adder, multiply, divide logic, and register file. So execution unit basically whenever perform the operation on that data, so by using these units it reduce the access time or it reduce the execution time of that data. Barrel shifter basically we are using to multiple bit shifting, means at a time many bits you can shift. So by using this thing you can basically faster the execution or reduce the execution time, both thing you can say that. Then your data you send to the memory management unit. Then in memory management unit we have to first discuss segmentation unit. In a segmentation unit, what is the working of segmentation unit? Basically, it converts your logical address into linear address and provide the segment level protection and check the limit and attribute PLA field. So this is the working of segmentation unit. Then paging unit. So this is your paging unit. Paging unit part basically optional. It is an optional part because it depends on the PG bit that resides into the control register 0. If your PG bit is set to 1, in that case you can perform the page translation mechanism for converting linear address into physical address. If your paging unit is disabled, means if your PG bit is set to 0, in that case you cannot perform the page translation mechanism, and in that case your linear address is like a physical address. So this is the working of paging mechanism. Paging mechanism convert the linear address into physical address, provide the protection at the page level and check the control and attribute PLA field. Then bus interface unit. You can see here in a bus interface unit, first contain the request prioritizer field. What is the request prioritizer? Request prioritizer field basically resolve the priority between the processes. Means which process you will execute first. So this thing basically deal. So request prioritizer basically deal with this type of thing. So this is your architecture of 80386 diagram. Next topic we will discuss into next lecture. Thank you.